Yo. Welcome back to Gridiron Podcast. I am your host, JB. And joining me on this festive episode of Gridiron Podcast, we got Devontae Forever. What's going on?
I don't know what you wearing, but what's going on, bro? How you?
I'm good, man. Feeling a little festive today. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Getting holly and jolly up in here. I want to say happy holidays to everybody out there. Thanks for supporting. Out on, got on the hat, got on, even the red and black headphones. You know what I mean?
You
Getting
like a
all
woodland
festive for the
critter.
holidays.
It's
How
a
you feeling
woodland-
this holiday season?
I'm feeling great. I don't know if I'm feeling as great as you. I love Christmas, but I don't know about. See, that's just too much for me. But hey, I'm feeling great. It's Christmas season, ready to go. We got the funniest game of all time on Saturday to see which one of us gets the better draft pick. So it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Absolutely. And if you guys don't know, of course, comment down below. Not only to obviously because that's how you engage on the show. We'll read your comment on the show, but also this is how you could potentially win some stuff on this particular episode as we are giving some stuff away. We'll get to that in a little while, but for right now, Devontae, as always, as I ask every week, what is your initial thoughts on NFL Week 15?
Week 15 was hilarious. Like there's a lot of wild things you saw in Week 15. The Dallas game, the way the Raiders game ended was just weird. There's a lot of good games on for sure. Like the Texans game was good. The Lions game was really good. There's a lot of definitely good games that came down to the wire this week for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought the games were pretty good. Some I thought were okay. You know what I mean? Had some games that to me really didn't matter. I thought the Chiefs game, although I thought the Chiefs played okay. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy, but it was a little. Obviously some wild finishes. Vikings with their 33-point comeback, which is insane. Obviously the ending of the Raider game, which we'll get into a little while, was off the charts ridiculous. Dallas obviously lost a big game for them to the Jaguars after having a lead. It's just a lot of comebacks this week, and obviously I don't think there was a good team that actually let a comeback. I think Dallas, I guess, besides Dallas, right? But yeah, the Monday night game didn't matter to me at all. Like the Monday night game pretty much meant nothing to me. No disrespect to the Packers. I know the Packers are technically still alive, of course, but
that game was worth nothing. That game was absolutely worth nothing.
Absolutely. So as always, comment down below, and that is how we will. Your name will actually go into a drawing, and we'll give some stuff away at the end. But for right now, let's get into the show. So Devontae, that's your thoughts on NFL Week 15. Anything you have to say real quick about your Steelers? I do have one thing to say about the Raiders before we get into obviously what people are calling the play.
But real quick, I could say that we're finally getting our run game is looking like it's going back. TJ Watt had 2 sacks. Cameron Hayward had a sack. Looked like TJ Watt starting to get healthy, which is great. But just at this point, it's cool. I'm liking to see the run game and stuff like that. But now I'm like, all right, let's get to the draft. Let's shore up this. Let's shore this team up. Because are we technically in the hunt for the playoffs? Yes, but will we make the playoffs? No. So at this point, just get ready for the draft, I guess.
Yeah. So in terms of the Raiders, I'm not too sold on them, only because there's too many blown leads. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm not impressed. I know they won. I know technically they got 6 wins now on the board, which is right where I had them at the end of the year. I said the Raiders will win about 6 games. Really not as impressed as people would think. Which is why I had to fly here to Santa's workshop, as you see behind me. Hopefully it manufactures some more wins, psych, because I want them to get the draft pick. But yeah, so without that, let's get right into it, man. So obviously, if you guys know, there's a play that's being dubbed the play. It is not for a good thing. Patriots, man. Raiders blew a 14-point lead again. This would be the 8th time this season they've done so. And it looked like the game was going to overtime. Actually, look at the Raiders are going to lose. And then Derek Carr throws a touchdown to Keelan Cole, and which is a little controversial. Some say he was inbound, some say he was out of bounds. But that got completely overshadowed by what became the play, and that is okay. So they gave the ball to Devontae's boy, Ramondre Stevens, right? And what happened there was he started getting yards, right? Of course, he starts getting yards, and he laterals the ball back to Jacoby Myers, who for some reason tries to lateral back to Mac Jones. It ends up in the hands of Chandler Jones, and off to the races he goes after a deadly stiff arm for the touchdown. Now, with that said, I want to ask Devontae. Obviously, the play was funny. Everyone had a good laugh at it. But did the Patriots have the worst play of all time?
One of them, yeah, for sure. One of them, that was one of the stupidest things I've ever saw. That was pretty stupid. Like, that was just foolishness. Why out of all people would you try to throw back to Mac Jones? Out of all people is ridiculous to me. Like, you didn't have no awareness, and especially when the game was tied, you clearly didn't know. I know he said he knew the situation, but he clearly did not know the situation. If that, he could have just got tagged. Once he tried to see that, once he realized he wasn't open, he could have just fell. He should have just fell.
Right.
He should have just clearly fell. Ball game. We're on in the OT. Like, he didn't really like put the concept together of why we're running the ball with this little amount of time left on the clock. We're running the ball to get to overtime. This is not that serious. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, it was hilarious. It was incredibly stupid. And I will not be surprised if by the end of the season, if that costs them out the playoffs, I will not be surprised if Bill Belichick releases him, because I know Bill Belichick is super petty like that.
Yeah. And look, man, like, obviously, as y'all know, obviously, huge fan of the Raiders, of course. All jokes aside, and I do see them win. It's just for this season, I thought new coach, new players on the team around. I figured they win about 6-7 games. But they keep blowing leads. So when this happened, I just laughed and I was like, oh, hell nah. You know what I mean? Like, no way a Bill Belichick coach team does this. Mm-hmm. Like, we got the butt fumble and we got Leon Lett and things like that. This got to be the worst, because all you had to do was literally tackle, just not fumble the ball and have it be a scoop and score, right? And the game goes to overtime. Maybe the Patriots win, maybe the Raiders win. Who knows, right? But the problem is he laterals the ball back. And it's not even that he laterals the ball back to any old body. He laterals back to Mac Jones. What was Mac Jones going to do with this at all?
All I was trying to say. That is literally all I was trying to say.
I think
Mac Jones getting trucked was actually hilarious. Though I ain't in front. I was trying not to laugh when I first saw that. He got the
like, he literally got caught with like the Madden 2002 stiff arm, like
literally. But like, I mean, but I get it though, because like if Chandler Jones would have got tackled on that, I would have cut him the next day.
Absolutely. And you know what? It would have been a very Raider thing to do for that to happen, actually. Yeah, so look, what's your thoughts on the fact that Bill Belichick said the reason why they did the play in the first place was because they can't throw that far?
It's not surprising. Like, I don't know why. I've been trying to tell people about these Patriots all years that like they're very defensive driven. They're a good defensive team, but like they're not good at throwing the ball down the field at all. Like, they just get away with it. You just don't hear about that often, because their offensive line is good. To where it's like, if you looked at like my situation, we didn't throw the ball downfield the last like 2 years really that much, but the only reason was because our offense sucked. Like, our offensive line was trash. So, but when you have an offensive line where it's like they're just built to run the ball, you didn't really have to. But you realize that in games like going to overtime, you can't really throw the ball like that because the receivers aren't that good. Like, they ain't got nobody getting open. That's the difference. So like, that sucks. But like, no, I agree. I definitely agree, because they don't have anybody to get open like that. And like, Max is not a bad quarterback, but I don't think Max no superstar like everybody else thought he was going to be either.
Yeah, like Mac Jones, he is what it is. Like, he's a very what I call Patriots type of quarterback, and that's no shot at Mac Jones. It just is what it is. Like, do I think he's bad? No, I think with actually not the right offensive coordinator, with a offensive coordinator, not Matt Patricia, I think Mac Jones actually takes a step forward this year instead of a step backwards. I thought Mac Jones was pretty good last year. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's pretty good. And led him to the playoffs and everything. Obviously, it's a defensive team, but it always was. Hell, even in the mid-2000s with Brady, it was a defensive-led team. So that's no shot at Mac Jones. But look, man, obviously, I can go many ways with this particular play, right? One, throw the Hail Mary or take a knee. That's one. So that's coaching. Two, Ramondre Stevens, just go down. No need to lateral the ball back. And probably the worst and most important, Jacoby Myers, obviously, who I think is like a leader on that team. I actually think he's very good. Hell, I wouldn't mind having him on the Raiders to go opposite side of Devontae Adams, but there's no need to lateral the ball back anyway. But to Mac Jones, what was Mac Jones going to do? Like, what was he possible to do with the ball? You know what I mean? Mac Jones wasn't going to break tackles and get the touchdown. And then not only that, look, I know right now my college coach may see this and he may start laughing because of the word pursuit, right? I know the other 10 players on the Patriots is faster than who was at the offensive tackle or backup tight end who was chasing down Chandler Jones. Nobody else even got in the frame. Chandler Jones necessarily slow, but he ain't that fast either. You know what I mean? They gave up. And like you said, this might cause the Patriots to actually get knocked out the playoffs. It's really crazy. Like, they might get knocked out of the playoffs because of what might be the dumbest play of all time. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree. No, man, you had it right in the head.
All right, so let's get into the comments. And remember, if you comment on the show, your name goes into a wheel spin that we will do at the end, give away some stuff. So commenting will get your name entered. Let's go. Let's get to these comments. Jessica Brown said, "'Tis the season. You already know. We got the tie, we got the hat, we got the sweater. You know, very Christmassy. Devontae came a little Christmassy with the hat. Glenn Foreman, that's my boy. Hey, what's up, pops? What's up, pops?" He said, "It's too early to disrespect my Bengals. Jesus Christmas. We're going to talk about the Bengals in a little while. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." Maurice Samuels, love it. Raiders. I feel you, bro. Raider Nation in the house. Finally got some backup. You know what I mean? Finally got some backup around here. Raider Nation in the house. Let's go. Reggie Brown, it's up there with the butt fumble. That was bad as well. That Colts failed trick play. That, yeah. There's been some bad ones, you know what I mean? I remember the Giants, the fake field goal against the 49ers. That was back in like 2002, 2003. But that was bad. Jets completely mismanaging their timeouts and choking away a game. That, you know what? You got a point there too. Hell, I could even throw in Dak Prescott not knowing to give the ball to the ref. You know what I mean? In the playoffs. That was bad. Josh Allen not being able to spike the ball this year against Miami, I think it was. That was bad, but this got to be the worst. Got to be the worst, right? Glenn Foreman, game and situational knowledge is huge. This dude had no clue. Belichick took a knee, true. Threw a Hail Mary, there were options. This gut reading playbooks like playing video games, right? Oh, yeah. Bill Belichick saying that Mac Jones can't throw that far. It's kind of bullshit. Like, they was on the Raiders 45-yard line. There's no way he cannot throw the ball into the end zone. Right? Like, his arm, it got to be at least that strong, right?
You could hope. I mean, you could hope. Then he ain't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't that far of a throw, though. That's the wild part. You could throw the ball to the end zone.
Right. I don't know. He had no faith in him. That's what it really turned out to be like.
Levante Arnold, what's good, bro? He said, Giants. Y'all call Jags upset, but my Giants prevail. We'll get to the Giants, get to the Jags. Do not worry. And then Maurice Samuels, does this play overshadow the Colts debacle against Minnesota? Actually, yes. When I saw the Colts blow a 33-point lead, even though they got Jeff Saturday as coach, and that kind of speaks for itself. I was like, bro, this has to be the headline. And then the Patriots play happened. Because you blow a lead, okay, fine, right? It's as bad as it is. In fact, Matt Ryan now has the top 3 most biggest blown leads ever. It's crazy. But the Patriots, it's the dumbest play of all time. So I think yes, it did overshadow. What's your thoughts on that, Devontae?
Not really. They're tied. They're both joint headlines to me. Neither one shatters the other. They're both very stupid and very horrible. I think the Cowboys one. I think the Vikings one is more because you didn't have to score. You really didn't have to do anything. All you needed was a couple 4 first downs and just run the clock out. Like they brutally screwed that up. Like, I think the Raiders one was more just random and just dumb. Like,
yeah, and like, look, again, I'm not saying like I know when you're in the moment, they probably thought, well, once Ramondre broke it, I thought he probably thought that he was on the move, right? He thought he was getting ready to break it, possibly even score. Jacoby Myers, I don't know what he thought he was doing. That's the one. That right there is the one that got me. Is the fact that Jacoby Myers thought that he was going to be able to really make something happen by throwing the ball to Mac Jones.
Yeah.
That's what I really don't get. But yeah, so let's move off that and let's get to the next thing. Speaking of what Maurice Sanders is talking about, Minnesota Vikings, man. Obviously, they played a great second half, but they played equally bad first half, right? It's probably the worst half I've seen an NFL team play all year. Because look, I'm not saying the Colts don't have any talent, but they ain't like that. You know what I mean? And to have what's still live for the number one seed, maybe even the number 2 seed, most likely, for them to be down 33 points at the half to the Colts, yeah, they came back and that's great. But this question has to be asked now. I think I know Devontae's answer, but are you sold on the Minnesota Vikings?
No. I think they'll win their opening matchup depending on who they play.
Okay.
If they don't get like a like they don't score like San Fran or something like that in the first round, they put like the Seahawks or something, I think they can win that game. Or the Giants or something like that, I think they can win that game. So with that being said, I think they can win their first game. After that, no, they're going home. They're going home. This is Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins never plays good on prime time television. That has been that has been the reason why he's been traded. That's the reason why Washington got rid of him in the first place, because he can't play. Never the fact that he was trash and then he stayed form in the imagination. He's just not good on prime time local television. It just no. You look at the one Bills game he won, literally he almost choked that away when he fell back on a QB sneak, and he even did it in the last. That's Kirk Cousins' identity at this point.
Yeah, man. The Vikings. There's sometimes that Bills game, I'll tell you, the Vikings is live to possibly go the distance, right? But like you said, it's just then that Dallas game when they just got stomped. I was like, bro, what happened? I was even ready to wipe away the Philly game when Philly smoked them, because I thought Philly was live like that, right? Mm-hmm. But the Dallas game, I was like, something's up. That Colts game, because remember, I was defending the Vikings. I was like, yo, I think they live. I don't know no more. And yes, they came back and won, so it's not like they took the L, but I don't know no more. Kirk Cousins. The defense, what the hell happened to the defense? Because it ain't the talent. It ain't the talent. Because you look over that roster, they got a talented as hell defense.
Oh,
but
sure.
It's not coming to fruition. I don't understand. So, who's a playoff team that you think could easily knock them out? Philly?
Philly, San Fran, and Dallas.
Fran.
Oh, and Dallas. I don't know if you heard me. I said Dallas too.
You think Dallas will beat them again?
Yeah.
How about Giants, Commanders?
No, they don't have enough offensively to beat them. You at least need to have something on offense for them to worry about on offense to stress their defense out. Then neither of those teams have, besides Saquon. But the playoffs, you're not gonna win just basically if the front game is all you have.
Right. All right, man. So, damn, because I don't how do you fall that from? You know what I mean? How do you fall that far? Because they were a good team. They're at the core, they're a good team, good receiver, decent quarterback, good running back, pretty good offensive line, receiving core is good safeties, good corners. The linebacker not as good as it used to be, but pretty good. Defensive line is good. What's the problem with the Vikings?
He's loud. Beats me, man. I really don't know. This is every year thing. It's a repetitive question. It's asking the same thing what happens every year. What's wrong with the Cowboys? It's the same thing. I don't know. It's just fate. I don't know. It might just be fate at this point in time with that team. They just can't get over all of this. It's just, I don't know. Just the way it is. I really don't know.
I feel you. Let's get to the comments. All right. So Glenn Foreman, Vikings D is prone to give up points. They're not that good. Yeah. Philly, I think, rolls them because Vikings seem to have a problem stopping the run and getting pressure and key points, right? Philly, I think, rolls them. San Fran could run the ball. Dallas with that 1-2 punch with Pollard and Zeke, they'll roll them. I think the Giants could give them problems. I think the Commander, like, I think the Vikings are like, yes, they could go far. They could have a deep playoff run, or they can get bounced wild card weekend. Like, I think Philly ain't getting bounced in the divisional round because I do think they'll have the bye. I don't think they're getting bounced in the divisional round. Everyone else in the NFC is live to lose wild card weekend. That's just how I feel. As a reminder, comment down below. Just one comment will get you into the giveaway that we're doing at the end of the show. Come get these prizes, man. It's Christmas time. Let's go. Next thing we're talking about, Cincinnati Bengals, man. Obviously, they was down. Speaking of another comeback, the Bucs came out, punched them right in the face, was rolling. Tom Brady was dealing, Dyson. Halftime came, and I don't know what the hell happened. All of a sudden, Tom Brady had 4 straight drives where they turned the ball over. Like, Tom Brady, I think, fumbled twice and threw 2 picks. I think the Bucs had 5 turnovers. Like, what is going on with Tampa? But also, it's like Joe Burrow, what happens is they get off to these slow starts, and it's like they need one one half to figure out what the defense is doing, and then they take off. We've seen it Kansas City 3 times now. We've seen it against we saw it against Cleveland. We saw it against Pittsburgh. Hell, we saw it against, you know what I mean? We're seeing it a lot. And obviously we just saw it against Tampa. So with that said, do you think the Bengals are good enough to actually win the Super Bowl? We saw them get to it last year. Obviously they got Hubbard is now hurt. Hendrickson is hurt. So obviously they got some injuries to deal with. Do you think the Bengals can actually go back and win the Super Bowl this time?
Win the Super Bowl? No. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. Do I think they can get there? Yes. I think they can definitely get there. That all will show me if I would pick them to get to the Super Bowl, if they can prove me wrong by beating Buffalo. I don't see them beating Buffalo. I think Buffalo's too physical, and I don't think the Bengals play more physical teams really well. Like, you saw how they struggled with Cleveland the first, like they got murdered by Cleveland the first time, beat them the second time. Like, you got the Ravens who beat them earlier in this year with that more physical standpoint. Like, I think the reason why the Bengals are good is because they have a balance of both. You know what I mean? They can just right. They can like play pretty football like the Chiefs do, or somebody like Chiefs or Buffalo, but like then it's like, but when they play the Chiefs aren't good at when you get punched in them, when you punch them in the mouth. When you play that punch in the mouth physical football, they're not good with that. Hence why they almost lost to the 1-10 Texans, because the Texans' running game is like very physical and punch you straight in the face. The Chiefs don't do really good in the web. That defense doesn't do well with that. So what you got the Chiefs? I think they can beat the Chiefs for a 4th time.
Agreed.
That Bills team is going to be their toughest fight. Can they get past Buffalo? Is something that I'm going to have to see when they play them. I believe they might play them this week. I'm not 100% on that.
Yep, 100% right.
Okay, so then I will need to really see that to really push my judgment to see if they can get back to the Super Bowl this week, depending on how they play. But I don't think they can beat Philly. I think Philly is just too much for the Bengals right now. Only team I can see beating Philly right now, like football to football, honestly probably going to be like the Bills, and that's if they get Von Miller back. I don't think there's a defense in the AFC right now that can handle that Eagles offense.
Okay. So
it's too complicated with that RPO stuff. It's just way too complicated. And like with both the Bengals DNs hurt, that's going to kill them. And with that secondary is so sketchy. They, like, for example, they didn't have no answer for last year, the Cooper Kupp.
True. Very true.
They had no answer for Cooper Kupp. And they had no answer for, if he didn't get hurt, probably OBJ was going to win MVP that Super Bowl, because he was murdering Eli Apple. Like, so, and my thing, and that scares me with the Bengals, and actually it scared Pops all year with the Bengals, is they didn't upgrade a corner at all.
Yeah. So that's why you said they can get there, because you think they can beat Kansas City, maybe even beat the Bills, right? Because obviously I agree that is the toughest matchup, like skill for skill.
Mm-hmm.
But you think there's no way they can beat Philly, so you think they can get there, but you think they can actually win because you think Philly will be there.
Exactly. I think Philly's going to be there.
So this one was tough for me because specifically when it came to winning. I agree. Cincinnati is good enough to get to the Super Bowl hands down. Actually, matter of fact, although they weren't my preseason pick, I am not picking them to go to the Super Bowl. I think they'll lose to Buffalo this upcoming weekend, but I think they'll beat the Bills in a rematch. I think they'll beat Kansas City for the fourth time if they play them. Although I think Buffalo and Kansas City might end up. I don't know how that's going to work out quite yet, but you know what I mean. But we'll see. Looks like Kansas City might have to play right down to the wire, actually, which kind of sucks for the Raiders because obviously any playoff chances will probably lose right then and there. But when it comes to the NFC, I think Cincy would beat Dallas. I think Cincy's actually. I think the 49ers, because of a lack of quarterback, they'll beat the Niners. And that Philly matchup is tough, but I can see it. I know they got the corners. And I know they come up and hit. So Mixon's gonna have a long day because they come up and hit. You know what I mean? Philly. It comes down to me is the Bengals defensive line and their linebackers against that Philly rushing attack. Because if Philly could run the ball, you forget it. It's over. You know what I mean? Like you might get blown out if they could run the rock. It's this is tough. This is tough because that Philly matchup, and again, I will get to the comments, but the only reason why I'm even picking them over the Niners is because of the quarterback situation. And I know they got Mr. Relevant now, not irrelevant, but I just think when it comes to the playoffs, it's gonna be a little different. You know what I mean? I would love to see the Phillies and I said Philly. I would love to see the Eagles and the Niners play though, because that's gonna be a big one. I mean, that's gonna test Purdy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But the Bengals and Niners game would be great too. But I want to see Jalen Hurts healthy because I know he got the shoulder. He's probably not even playing this week against Dallas.
Yeah.
Even though that game don't matter now, which we'll talk about in a little while. But that's a tough one. So I'm gonna say actually yes. I think they could beat Philly in a close one. But I don't feel confident about that though.
They don't
because if Jalen Hurts
answers, like their secondary is just like. I think the thing is now that what was glaring, obviously, was completely glaring that the Bengals couldn't protect Joe Burrow last year, so that like the offensive line got more to the blunt of it. But now this year, it's all secondary. Like they can't cover nobody. Like they can't cover nobody. Like they're not going to be able to cover. Like, do I think they can beat the Niners? Yes, because like I'm not a Brock Purdy stand like that. I don't think he's like
right.
I think he was good. Like he was really he was like
he's doing his job,
yeah. Like I had him as like a 6th round, 7th round pick on my draft board. But like, no. Do I think he's first year playoffs? No, I'm not. No.
So he's not like Garoppolo, where Garoppolo.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
He's like
no.
Okay. All right.
So like I'm not worried about that much with like Debo, and then because of who's throwing him the ball. He's not a real dual threat quarterback like Jalen Hurts. Like you look at like it'd be one thing if the Bengals had like a star lockdown corner where it's like, all right, so this guy can run with AJ Brown, so then you got Devontae Smith versus everybody else. Nah, it's literally AJ Brown and Devontae Smith versus nobody. And that's
You're
the
not
problem.
concerned about the shoulder with Jalen Hurts? Like I know that's new. Like I know it's a new development, but at all?
Not when you're talking about these two teams going against each other and you got no Trey Henderson, no Sam Hubbard, and no Mike Hilton. Absolutely not. No, I'm not. Like Sourcewell's shoulder will have a field day when three of the better defensive people who've held that Cincinnati defense together are hurt, are all out.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the comments because that would be a hell of a game if you ask me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's see.
Out. I ain't mean it like that.
Let's see. Every E-Man tune, what's going on, bro? Happy holidays. So you are now entered into the giveaway that'll be at the end of the show. The Bengals are heating up at the right time. Can't win the Super Bowl. Huh. Interesting. Comment below who you see as a team that will beat the Bengals. Are you saying they won't even get there? There's no shot. Let me. Steven Canberra, what's going on, brother? He said, you guys already talked about the Raiders and Patriots game, but coming from a Patriots fan, that was the worst way to lose. Not a smart choice by Myers. Yeah, it's probably it's the worst way to lose it. I can't imagine if that game was at Gillette Stadium. Like it's one thing. It's in Raiders. You know what I mean? It's in Vegas, so like obviously they're cheering. But if that game was in Gillette Stadium, they would have Jacoby Myers. He probably would have not got home safe, right? He would have had to like have a police escort. They might have had that man followed, right? Like, oh man. So, Steven, you also are now entered as well to the giveaway at the end of the show. Glenn Foreman, we were lucky. Yes, it's a game of adjustments, but we were flat. Injuries will be the only thing that can stop us. We can compete with anyone. I agree. Physical, we just curb stomp the Steelers. Stop the bias. Everyone says the same thing last year. You got to believe who they. Cincinnati fan in the house growling loud.
All right. Look. Okay. So first off, curb stomp Steelers. That first off, we beat you the first time. Second off, you guys played a better half. And you didn't curb something. I believe you won by 10. If anything, I believe you won by 10. And that's because we dropped 2 wide open touchdowns in the end zone, but we don't talk about that. But third off, I picked you to go back to the Super Bowl. And I even picked you to go to the Super Bowl last year when everybody thought I was nuts. I told you by the time they got the playoffs, I said the Bengals are going to go to the Super Bowl. But then I told you that the Bengals weren't going to win the Super Bowl because of the matchup they had against him. He had a horrible offensive line with Aaron Donald, who's pretty much going down as either 1A or 1B greatest defensive tackle to ever walk the face of the earth. And then that defense with Eli Apple and who else? Eli Apple guarding Cooper Kupp and OBJ. OBJ tears the ACL. You think he has a chance. What happened in that second half, Jason? Cooper Kupp won the game. Matt Stafford threw to one person the entire game. And it was Cooper Kupp. Like, these are the things I'm talking about with the Bengals. Where it's like, I didn't say you weren't physical. I just saying you guys, your defense struggles against teams who can just punch you right back in the face. Because you have 2 very aggressive middle linebackers in Pratt and Wilson who are very good.
Yep.
Very, very, very good.
Excellent against the pass.
Absolutely. 100%. But when you got a team who can do both, when was the last time the Bengals played a team that does both? They can play somebody.
They're about to play one this weekend.
And that's my point. That's what I need to see. And I said, so you can get to the Super Bowl.
If the Bengals come out and beat the Bills, would that kind of change your tone on them? Because obviously we know the Bills are going to play smash mouth football.
No, I think they can get back to the Super Bowl. Like I never said they couldn't get to the Super Bowl.
No, yeah.
I think they can get to the Super Bowl. I just don't think. I think the worst nightmare matchup. I can go through team by team, so it don't even look like I'm hating on the Bengals. I can go by team. They don't want to. That Philly matchup is the worst matchup for them. And honestly, the best matchup for Philly, the toughest matchup for Philly defensively, if you go scheme to scheme, it's the 49ers. 49ers are the toughest matchup scheme to scheme. But then I would throw Buffalo in there because you have a dude named Von Miller who we call a closer for a reason, which also sucks because he's out for the season. But
yeah,
without Von, if you look at that tough but you look at their defense of like how they put pressure on you, stuff like that, and they have the corners, they have Tre'Davious White, they have the corners, they have the safeties and stuff like that. You go match the matchup. Buffalo is the better matchup for Philly.
Without Von Miller, I don't care about this game this week. I don't care about that game. In the playoffs, without Von Miller, the Bills ain't beating the Bengals. I don't care if they got Tre'Davious White. I know they got Milano and the crew. That 3-headed receiving core, they ain't stopping them. And that's why I think the Bengals can beat Philly as well. Philly low key, and I picked Philly from week 5 when we did our original picks to go to Super Bowl, right? But I think Philly has a problem stopping the run. And if you start letting Mixon get crazy to where they can run play action with that receiving core, then Philly's in trouble. Now, Jalen Hurts in the offense against that Bengals defense, that's why I agree with you. I agree that game is going to be crazy if it were to happen because of the Philly offense versus the defense. Bengals going to put up at least 27 on Philly. Can Philly put up 27 or more on Cincinnati? Of course, that's the question, right? I'm telling you right now, I don't even know where the Bengals game is this week, if it's in Cincy or Buffalo. Bengals gonna put up at least 30 on Buffalo.
I don't see.
They put up at least 30.
And then that's another thing I want to see. I want to like my biggest thing with the Bengals is I want to see the Bengals win if they can win in like a close defensive game.
Okay.
That just interests me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen the Bills do it. I've seen other teams do it. Like, I've seen the Eagles have like a very ugly, slouchy game.
Yeah.
But like, I guess you can consider like this last game the Bengals played as a ugly game against the Bucks. So they were down like what 17-3 at the half, and then came
Something
back.
Like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
The one thing I'm starting to like about this Bengal team is, and you've heard me say this for years about the Raiders, it's like the Bengals are now starting to pull away from teams. No more of this close game nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they score a touchdown. What I always say about Vegas, they score a touchdown. They always let the other team score a touchdown no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they can't ever just go put 14 straight up on you right there and just run away with the game. Cincinnati's starting to do that because they went up by 7 and took the lead from the Bucks. I was like, oh, here comes Tom. No, the Bengals like, nah, we're not doing that. We're gonna pull away now. You know what I mean?
But I think the thing about the Bengals is they've never played this is like why this game is so interesting to me on this next game is because like I want to see them play. They never played nobody like Josh Allen. And what I mean by that is, for example,
dual threat type.
Yes, like a legit dual threat. Meaning, because think about it, Lamar is a dual threat, but Lamar ain't got the arm of Josh Allen. Lamar don't throw the ball like Josh Allen. Lamar don't
Pat
read.
Mahomes? He don't
Pat
run
Mahomes don't run the ball. That's my point. Like, he's not a running threat. Pat Mahomes, think about it. You look at the Bengals, all they did was play legit like some of the best contain I've ever seen against them in the playoffs last year. Because Patrick Mahomes would pump fake, spin around, do a pump fake, spin around. But every time he's spinning around trying to get people open, all he's doing is really running backwards.
Who's favored in this game, dude? You know?
I'm not sure off like the
okay,
stuff like that. But like you look at all that, they've never really played somebody where it's like the quarterback can take it, tuck it, and run it. And then he has one of the best arms, if not the best arm in football at this moment right now. So and then you got somebody like Stephon Diggs. You got somebody like Gabriel Davis, for example, which is very identical to, you can use that as you're very identical as T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, where Jamar is the home run hitter, Stephon Diggs, the home run hitter. And then you got T. Higgins, who's a great receiver, who's a great number 2 receiver. Again, Gabe Davis, who's a very number 2 receiver. It's a very identical parallel matchup. I
got you.
That's why I'm like, there's not no. Like.
All right, let's get back to the comments. E-Man Tooney said Bengals will not beat the 49ers. With Jimmy, I think it's a tougher game. I don't know. I got to see more of the Niners play, man. Like, it's a tough one. Because I know it's Pat Mahomes, but Pat Mahomes, he put a hurting on Niners defense. You know what I mean? And the Bengals, I think they have just as good of a quarterback, which we'll do our top 5 QBs in 2 weeks. But I think they have just as good of a QB as Mahomes, and I think the receiving core is even better than Mahomes. And I think the rushing attack is better. So I'm not sold that they can't beat the Niners. Glenn Foreman, they can't stop the run as Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook. They are getting better, but they're still them in Philly, hell, in Buffalo. They all need to work on that because sometimes the backs be getting a little wild on all 3 of them. Actually, he said Bengals will lose to either the Bills or the Chiefs. I think Bengals will beat the Chiefs, definitely. Bills is a tougher one. But that Von Miller injury, man, I'm telling you, I think it's huge. I think it's huge. I think the Bills about to having a pass rush problem without blitzing. Do you think they can stop our offense? Philly, no. 49ers have a better chance.
Yes, I think Philly's yes. If they come out like that's a team where it's like you can't come out slow against. Like, that's my thing. That's the thing that scares me about. That's honestly, I think the thing that the Bengals need to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, it's gonna sound crazy. The Bengals need an offensive coordinator, not a coach, not a head coach who calls their own plays.
So your thing is not Zach Taylor?
Yes.
He's not the right guy. Okay.
No, like I think he's a good head coach. He could be a head coach, but be a head coach. He's putting too much on his plate being the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Because they're always coming out.
Andy Reid.
Yes, they're coming out wild slow every quarter. And think about it. And and from better than I can, everybody knows you cannot do that in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Cannot.
And I think that's just the biggest problem.
It's a reminder, 3rd toughest schedule in the NFL, 10-4. Look, I think the Bengals have turned it around. I'm telling you, I have a sneaky feeling if it's now or never for the Bengals. Now, I think Joe Burrow eventually, when it's all said and done, is going to the Hall of Fame, right? I think him, Jamar Chase, they right. Um, and this is not to say they could never get back or never whatever, but I think right now, even with the injuries to Hendrickson, even with the injuries to Hubbard and Hilton, I think this just might be one of those years. Kansas City, to me, complete team. Buffalo got injured in probably what might be the worst possible place with Von Miller going out. He's like force multiplier. And now with Jalen Hurts' shoulder, I'm telling you, I feel like they're gonna start to dial back. We might not even see him until the divisional round. And you never, and with stuff like that, you never know, because he definitely ain't playing this Dallas game. E-Man, again, as a 49ers fan, I thought we were done, but the defense is so good right now. All Purdy has to do is manage the game. Trent Dilfer vibes. Whoo, that's putting a lot on the defense, though. You know what I mean? Like,
dirty.
It is. Like, the whole crew is crazy, but here's my worry, and because we've seen this happen countless times, right? Let's say Purdy fumbles, gets stripped, throws a pick, Burrow gets a short field. Just that play right there could change the game. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Bengals going to put up 40 on the Niners, but just little inexperienced type mistakes in the playoffs get you beat. Mahomes, he went up to Tyreek Hill in overtime, picked off. Bengals go to the Super Bowl, just like that. You know what I mean? When Mahomes wants to scramble back and be superhero, fumbles the ball, and now goes time. You see what I'm saying? Small plays like that can change the game.
Let me ask you a question. You got a 2 minute. You got a 2. I'll give you a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, right? And it goes down to what would you have more confidence in? Would you have more confidence in the Bills offense against the Bengals defense, or would you have more confidence in the Bengals offense versus the Bills defense?
Joe Burrow.
I got Josh Allen.
Joe Burrow, hands down. My problem with Josh Allen, I go back, and I know it's one game. Obviously, I'm not saying Joe didn't have these games. I saw Joe throw 3 picks against Pittsburgh in game 1, right?
5.
Josh Allen, I look back, and I think about that Vikings game. I mean, all of a sudden, he just wants to go gun crazy. He just want to start throwing the ball through guys, and also the running. Sometimes I feel like Josh Allen don't want to sit in the pocket when the pressure's on. And look, he's great with his legs. I have no problem with it. But, like, sometimes it's like, bro, just the ball the right way, not through guys. You know what I mean? Just throw the ball. I think Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow, I know he didn't get the Super Bowl like Mahomes, but look, he's quickly approaching that top 3 for me. I think he's that good. All right.
That secondary is just
I'm with you on that. 100%. Simmons got paid. Not Simmons. Who's the safety?
No, Jesse Bates.
He got paid, right? I think he got paid.
He's trying to.
Oh yeah, contract year. He ain't playing quite. He's playing better. He ain't playing. He wasn't like last year the monster.
Not at all.
All right, Josh Allen don't go down. He won't make the play. Yeah, he needs to start the slide. He gonna get hurt. I'm not wishing it, but he's gonna get hurt. But all right,
after this year, I mean,
let's get back to the show before we get to the stuff. We got a few more things to get to. Dallas Cowboys, they blew the lead. Obviously, we both think Trevor Lawrence is pretty good. He's on the rise. I think we both said Jacksonville would be a good team next year. Here we go. I already know what's coming. I can see it on the face. Are you sold on the Cowboys, Devontae?
Jay, you know I love you, but bro, why you ask me these stupid questions? Like, why? Why?
It's Christmas, bro. It's Christmas. Come on.
Why do you ask me these asinine questions, sir? Why? We go through this every year. We go through this at least once a week. This is like talking about the Lakers. This is exactly what this is becoming, and just talking about the Lakers. No, I'm not. I don't care if they win. I don't care if they beat Gardner Minshew on Saturday. No, I don't. No. The question was, am I sold on the Cowboys? Absolutely not. It's going to be the same thing every year. What will go wrong will go wrong. What can go wrong will go wrong. They're going home in the first round.
No matter what.
Day one. Yes, I've said it since the day we started this damn show. They are going home in the first round.
Tampa?
Probably. I would laugh. I would laugh hysterically. I think about it. Every year, every playoff, the last couple playoff years, they should have won the first round. They should have. They should have beat the
You
Niners
don't
last
think
year.
you don't think
They
they
should have beat
could
the
beat
Niners
this
last
Tampa
year.
team?
They should. I thought they should have beat the Niners last year. Guess what? They couldn't do it. I. They're never games. Should they? Should they have beaten the Jaguars last week? Yep. Did they? No. That is the whole thing about the Cowboys. It's never the talent that they have on their team. It's never like they don't got a secondary. Oh no, it's the Cowboy way. They know how to blow games and lose games that they should win. And that's the point. It's not like they got some impossible gauntlet that they go through. It is the Dallas freaking Cowboys. What can go wrong will go wrong because they are the Cowboys. They get in their own way all time. You know why? Because we're not going to forget how all of a sudden week 4, when week 4 came out, everyone was like, oh, screw Dak Prescott, who get Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush gets obliterated by the Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all put Cooper Rush straight back on the bench. We don't talk about that. And then next, when Dallas starts to get a little ahead of steam, win some games, all of a sudden they're like, we need to put Dak in the elite comp. No. They're going home in the first round. No more of these questions. They're going home in the first round.
All right. Look, you know me. I am not a Dallas fan. I don't like the Cowboys. I don't care for them. I don't think they're anything special, right? They ain't going home in the first round. They're gonna beat Tampa. Cause I think Tampa's gonna win the South. That's why I keep saying Tampa for those at home who don't understand why I keep saying Tampa. They're gonna be the 4th seed. Dallas gonna beat Tampa. They're gonna go to 10 Tampa and they're gonna put Brady into retirement. Not because Micah's special. He's not the defensive player of the year. To me, that is Bosa. Nick Bosa. Shout out to Niners gang. Bosa's a monster. We both said that. Way better than his brother Joey. So that's that. I'm not sold on Dak Prescott either, even though I know come January somehow, come March, he'll be back in the top 10 list of everybody, but I'm not sold on Dak either. Hell, you ask me, he lost the game. I know the defense blew the lead. He threw the pick 6, blah, 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 right? But they going to beat Tampa. And they'll beat the Vikings too. So the only team in the NFC they can't beat is probably the Niners and Philly. So yes, they ain't going to the Super Bowl. And they probably ain't going to the NFC Championship unless Philly and the Niners somehow meet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which won't happen because they're going to beat Tampa and then they're going to have to go to Philly. But they not losing that divisional round. Tampa's it's not their year. I'm sorry.
I really wish I could believe you. You go scheme wise, you go all of that. It makes every bit of sense in the world that the Cowboys win the game.
Oh, come on, man.
At the end of the day, do I pick the Cowboys to win that game? Hell no, I don't. Why? Because they've proven me right. They've proven me wrong way too many times. I'm not picking the Cowboys to win that game. It ain't going to happen. You're going to have to make me a believer. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I cannot put the blame on you. Are you serious?
All right.
No. They're going to lose in Cowboy fashion. Somehow it'll be a strip fumble, something stupid. The Buccaneers get the ball back. Ryan Suckup kicks the field goal. Game over. Tampa Bay wins somehow. It's the Cowboys.
Oh, man. They're going to beat Tampa, though.
I doubt it.
All right. So let's get to these comments, man. Levante Armwood, Dallas must have encouraged Jerry Jones did something. Yeah, look, he was in that crowd. That's what happened. He was in the crowd. That's exactly what happened here. Once he apologized, I promise you they'll start winning. All right. So let's get to the next thing we're talking about. The next thing we're talking about is actually very important in terms of the NFC playoffs. Jalen Hurts hurt his shoulder. It's just a sprain. Nothing's actually broke. So obviously he will be back. Now it's up to them. They're going to have to shoot him up probably with a cortisone shot. So my speculation is he'll miss the Dallas game now that it don't matter as much thanks to Dallas blowing that lead to Jacksonville. Whether or not he plays again this season is really up to Philly. All they have to do is win one game, and hell, they might even beat Dallas with Minshew because I don't think he's a bad quarterback. So I think Minshew just as good as Dak Prescott, actually. So I don't know. So with Jalen Hurts out, injured, is trouble in terms of the playoffs. Let's say because he's still young. He's a second-year guy, right? Or third-year guy? Second-year guy, right? Third-year guy? But second year as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you think he can miss time and show up in the divisional? He don't get the bye. You think he's just good to go?
Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be fine. You just set him if you want. If it's that bad, you set him this week. You sit him this week. But if he can play through it, win this game, stick it to Dallas fans to give them to ruin their hopes and dreams. You cook them this week, ruin their hopes and dreams, then you set them for the next 2 games. Well, then you sit them for the next 3 weeks. Or if you think Dallas is that trash like I do, you play Gardner Minshew, you sit him for a month. There you go. And then let him heal. Obviously, let him pass, let him stay in the reads and stuff like that. And then you get him ready for whoever you end up playing for the first round of week 1. This team, the thing is, I tell people about this Eagles team. It is not just a Jalen Hurts show, and that's the part. Yeah. That's what makes the Eagles so damn terrifying. Their team is built like giants, and the fact that they're only getting healthier is ridiculous. They are only getting healthier. So with all that being said, I do believe that you sit them, you'll be all right, because the only real tough game they got out of anything is Dallas, and if they beat Dallas with Gardner Minshew, 1, it'll be hilarious, and 2, you can sit them, and then next thing you know, you'll just pick up the pieces of who you play after that. I think the hardest game probably for him to adjust would probably be if they catch the Niners in the divisional or the NFC Championship.
All right. So I think Philly might be in a little bit of trouble. If he plays 2 out of 3 games, I think they'll be fine. If he don't show up to the divisional round, I don't care who they play, Philly in trouble. Because how are you going to know if he's good to go? Yes, practice ain't the same. Don't give me practice. He threw in practice. He threw well. He looks good to go. They did thud in practice. His shoulder was fine. Start hitting that hard turf. The game going to be in Philly. You know it's going to be cold. I'm a little worried because specifically the throwing shoulder. You know what I mean, that's why I'm worried. The throwing shoulder.
He'll play one game.
I would like to see him at least take some of the reps week, depending on if they need the game or not. But the week 18. If not, I'm a little worried for Philly, man.
I play him this week. I play him a little bit this week and weekend.
No, he can't play this week. No,
play him this week.
No, he needs. Why are you playing him this week?
Play him this week. See how bad it is. Play him this week.
Super Bowl chance.
He finished the game. If I'm not mistaken, he finished the game last year.
Right? Yeah, he did. He finished it. But still, nah, I don't know about that. That's a little tough.
I'm telling you, I'd play him this week, set him for the next 2 weeks, no matter what.
All right, let's get to.
Would play him, win the game, win the division, set him for the next 3 weeks. There you go.
All right. Hurts need to heal. I would let him chill until the playoffs start. If he goes out there and gets knocked out for the season, they are finished. I agree. I think Hurts is that good, and I like Gardner Minshew, but the dual threat of Hurts. So that's why I think he's the MVP. That's why I didn't agree with what Micah Parsons is saying. It's all the team. It's not him. You know what I mean? I do think he's what makes that Eagles offense go. And I think if he gets hurt, it's a wrap. But I don't just show up in the playoffs and just continue what he's doing. This is the divisional matchup that is always hard hitting and tough between 2 teams that don't like each other. Boys need the game more than Eagles sit them. Yeah, he can't play this week, Devontae. They go, every shot is gonna be like the scoop slam tackle. You know what I mean? They're gonna keep doing it to him because Dallas is like, we might have to see these fools in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Put them out now. Like you can't play this week. All right. So let's quickly go down our top 5 coaches, and then we'll get to the giveaway. We'll get out of here. All right. Let's go. Top 5 coaches. Number 5, who you got?
Number 5, we got Brian Daboll, the New York Giants. He He's turning that program around. How he beat the commanders or what the commanders or whatever they could, the commandos, shout out to small soldiers or whatever they're called. Um,
Commandos.
how he beat them without no receivers is ridiculous to me. How he's winning games without wide receivers at all is
Right.
ridiculous to me. He's a very good coach. He's turning that program completely around. Where it's like he has a team where it's like people want to play for the Giants. Like those guys come out and ball. And the way he's highlighting Saquon Barkley and he's protecting him, I think deserves all the credit and respect.
All right. So this ain't really the week to really say it, but number 5, I got Bill Belichick. No, that's not saying Bill Belichick is like he's trash anymore. I mean, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying this season, this is where I got him. You know what I mean? I think right now he's just okay. The lack of not getting a true offensive coordinator to me speaks volume. I think it's arrogant. So that's why he slides to 5, where most seasons I have him at 1.
Okay,
Number
so
4.
I might as well tell you about my list. And then my list is I took Belichick out, I took Mike Tomlin out, I took Andy Reid out because those are obviously every year that are 1, 2, and 3 every single year of every single football season on this planet. If we're talking coaches and stuff like that, but this year I took
Okay.
the team. I went with the coaches that are basically hungry, and have improved the most within the years they've had. I took the most hungry, improving coaches where it's like where the players have believed into the system.
Okay. That's fair. So number 4, who you got?
Number 4, I got Nick Sirianni from Philly. Why is he at number 4 is because I think, like I've said it before, that GM is GM of the year, and it ain't close. It's not a debate. Whoever the Howie Roseman is general manager of the year for constructing that big ass team he put with the money nobody knows where they're getting from to sign all these damn people.
Right.
Like they're definitely playing Madden. They took the salary cap off. So like but I do think this RPO system that Nick Sirianni has installed out there has been working very well and probably more. It reminds me very much of when the Seattle started using the read option and how that kind of influenced the game, how that really influenced the game, how everybody started running the read option after Seattle started doing it. So like I think I can see similar parallels with the RPO game that's going on in Philly.
Number 4, I got Mike McDaniels, Miami. I think he needs to help oversee the defense, and not in terms of him coaching it, but they need to figure it out. That's all they're missing. Defense gives them a little too much points and yardage for my liking.
I had him at number 6.
The offense is good, so I'm going with Mike McDaniel. I think he's a great coach. Wish Josh McDaniels is good, but
okay. I had him literally at number 6.
All right, number 3, who you got?
Number 3 was tough for me to pick, but I can't believe I'm saying this. He made this team, no matter all the stupidness they have with the quarterback situation, they made this team relevant again. I'm going with at number 3. We're going Rob Saleh with the New York Jets.
Bro, that's a good pick.
Bro got them boys playing football. No matter what you want to call it, with they got ugly old Zach Wilson, old syndrome looking Zach Wilson at quarterback, or you got Mike White at quarterback. Like, bro, what? You got the Jets? Yes, I did. You got the Jets playing football. The Jets are normally your 1 o'clock. If you don't got the NFL Network, you go take a nap game. Every year they were like, let me go take a nap. Every year we'd be at the house. Dad would fall asleep immediately during the Jets game.
Right.
1 o'clock. That's the game. You clean up the house, you take a nap, you wait till 4 o'clock, and the rest of the primetime games because the Jets is always trash. Now you got Quinn and Williams and them boys. The way that defense has always been good. Now you got an offense. They got the offense with Garrett Wilson, who's been playing ball. You got all these other players who are playing ball. You got the running back system. And especially when they come back next year, if they get a real quarterback in there, a real quarterback with Breece Hall, Michael Carter, James Robinson. Come on, man. Like, you got to give the respect that is just due to Robert Saleh and the job he's doing with those Jets.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that pick at all. Number 3, I'm going Pete Carroll. I think he was struck gold on the Russell Wilson thing. Everyone called him crazy at first that he needed to said he lost his mind. He needs to figure out what he's doing with his life. Just talking a bunch of shit about him, right? And he's turned out to be right. I mean, Russell Wilson kind of is washed. So, yeah, I got to go Pete Carroll because nobody thought the Seahawks would be that good.
Okay.
Number 2, who you got?
Number 2, I got Kyle Shanahan, San Fran.
It's a good one.
Like, bro, like if you expect, like, think about it. The moment when Jimmy G was hurt, we were like, oh, the Niners is done. Well, this season is over. But the way he got that defense playing is giving us a lot of hope. Like, it's giving them a lot of hope to get that. Like, they're still rolling. Because think about it, first Trey Lance gets hurt. Now you're at Jimmy G. Now you're at all the way at Brock Purdy. And they're still winning and they're still being successful. That defense is playing some of the best ball I've seen them play since, like, what, 2012?
Right.
Or 2012 or what, 2016, 17 or whatever when they went back to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like, they're playing phenomenal ball right now, and you have to give that credit to Shanahan, especially when he's more of an offensive play caller. He's an offensive play in mind. So the fact that that defense is playing like that, and then you on top of that, you have your backup quarterback who's still playing ball. You got to give it to San Fran.
So my number 2 actually is what I call faithful. And Andy Reid, man. Like the play calling is just ridiculous, man. Like the Chiefs game, he ran what I call, I don't even know what it's technically called, but he ran like a play where there's 4 drag routes. like it's 4 drag routes. Like it's like on the play art, if it was in Madden, it wouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the way it was layered, 2 guys just came wide open. The linebackers didn't even know what to do with them. You had the safety sitting back thinking somebody was going to run deep. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just ridiculous. Like the play caller, man. Just off that alone, to me, he's number 2. All right. Number 1, who you got?
I don't give a damn if we're talking about this 2022 NFL season. I'm dying on this hill. I got smoke for anybody who got to argue with me in the comments. Got all types of smoke. Dan Campbell is number 1. Are you serious? Are you serious? Do you see this? Do you see this turnaround? Do you see this turnaround of one of literally statistically the worst franchise in NFL history? The worst NFL franchise in history.
Yep.
And one of the grittiest, poorest cities in America, Detroit. He is turning that program around because he has every week you see them fight. They were 1-6 at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
They 7-7.
Yeah. Look, I agree. I agree. My number 1 was Dan Campbell as well. This dude biting kneecaps. He got the Detroit Lions rocking. I think the Lions, they might go to the playoffs. To me, he's hands down the coach of the year. No disrespect to Dayball, no disrespect to Saleh. They both went on little losing streaks. Saleh had the whole thing with Zach Wilson. He did well. Giants had a little slide where they lost some games. Dan Campbell, bro, they was 1-6 now 7-7, and they might win out. So I'm Dan Campbell to me, he's none for this year. He's number 1.
Come on now, bro. It's like, come on now.
Looking back on my list, I probably should take out Bill Belichick and put in Shanahan because he's doing a phenomenal job as always. As always with the Niners. All right, so let's get to these comments and let's get to the giveaways. All right, so we got Glenn Foreman said number 5, Pete Carroll. Number 4, Ron Rivera of the Commanders. He said, come on, the QB is hiding. That's hilarious. Number 3, Mike McDaniel, Dolphins. And then he says number 2, Robert Saleh and the Jets. And number 1, he gave it to Sirianni, but I think he actually switched it up and put Dan Campbell as 1. Because look, man, it's kind of hard to argue with the Lions. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, I was like, whoa. So,
without further ado, let's get to this giveaway. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So, the way we're gonna do this is everybody who commented and things like that, I put them all on a wheel, and what I will do is I will basically the wheel will show just so you see it right there. The names are there. So, without further ado.
Throw my name in there too. Throw my hat in the ring. No, I'm
no.
I'm joking.
So as you see, Gridiron podcast. So the first prize we got. Let me put this up on the screen, just so we know what's going on. This is for a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. I'll buy you a cup of coffee, $5. I know folks like, what the hell can you get with $5? You get a cup of coffee. All right, take it and add your own money to it.
Take discount.
Right, exactly. So Dunkin' Donuts, $5. What we got? Maurice Samuels. Raider Nation, stand up. Raider Nation, stand up. All right, so let me just record this and then I will track him down if he actually still not there in the chat. I will write that down and make sure that he gets it. Shout out to Maurice Samuels. Appreciate the support, of course. All right, I'm recording this because I don't want nobody to be like, you forgot me. You know what I mean? About it, like, you know how it goes. They be like, yo, you forgot me, dog. Like, nah, I didn't. All right. So Maurice Samuels, appreciate it. Next up, again, we have another Dunkin' Donuts $5 gift card. So let's see. Dunkin' Donuts $5 gift card. Let's see who wins it this time. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Patrick Duffy. All right. Patrick Duffy. All right, cool. So I definitely will get with him to make sure he gets his gift card for a cup of coffee. So it's funny, Patrick Duffy, I haven't seen him recently, but I definitely make sure he gets it. Let me just record this. Patrick Duffy. All right. Next up, folks is probably like, what the hell's going on? Like, yeah, we giving away stuff, man. Hard on money, guys. All right. Let's go. Next up, we got a $10 Amazon gift card, man. $10.
That needs to stay in the family. That needs to stay in the household.
$10 Amazon gift card. Let's go. Let's see who we got. What the hell? It's randomized. Duffy won again. All right. What the hell going on, Pat? Like,
I feel like low-key you should have took the names out, but that works.
Nah, because then the grand prize would probably only be won by one person. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. That's exactly why you can't do that. All right, so Patrick Duffy, I would get with him his Amazon gift card as well. What the hell going on? All right, so now we got another Amazon gift card. Let's see if Pat somehow wins again. He gonna win all this somehow. Bang, Niner gang in the house. Every email tune was good, bro. You won a $10 Amazon gift card, man. So you go pay for the contract of Brock Purdy, all right? Like, yo, congratulations to the homie. Appreciate the support. I will get with you to make sure you get your gift card as well. And next up, again, we have another $10 Amazon gift card. You got a comment. It said, my man email said, let's go. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. All right. We got another Amazon gift card. Let's see what we got. We give away stuff here on Gridiron, the Gridiron podcast. Another $10 gift card. What we got? Oh, god damn it.
Come on, man. Like,
oh no.
What? Like, come on, man.
Yo, the bro, Reggie Brown, you are one. A $10 Amazon gift card. Oh my god. I'm about to respend this.
He'll probably go use that $10 to get him like some Pretty Ricky cologne or something like that.
You said Pretty Ricky. That's hilarious. So recorded that. Congratulations to Reggie Brown for winning. All right, now we're gonna up it a little bit. We now have a $20 Amazon gift card.
Yo, like, why am I not in the running for this?
Let's see who wins this. Steve Cameron. It was almost every event tune again. Steve Cameron, Patriot Nation in the house. Shout out to Steve Cameron. Shout out. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Congratulations to you. I definitely will be reaching out to make sure that you get your gift card. All right, bro? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Next up, we have another Amazon $20 gift card. Devontae is saying, why is he not in the running? Let's spin the wheel and let's see. Tired of the music yet?
Oh, come on. This is collusion right here. This is collusion.
Now, this is some home cooking right here.
No.
This is some home cooking right here. This is some home cooking right here. Shout out to the wife, Jessica Brown. I could let her on the show. She will tell you she is not gonna let me see any of that $20. So
this is what I call this is what happens at a church in the hood when the collection plate goes out. like, nah. Stop playing. Like, nah.
Yo, shout out to Jessica Brown. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Shout out to you. Congratulations. All right. Next up. Let me record that. Make sure everybody get their thing. Let's see. I feel like what's going on here?
I'm just saying the collusion is crazy right now.
He said, laugh my ass off. Here's the season. Steven Cameron, awesome. Thanks. Appreciate the support, bro. Appreciate the support. More than welcome. Devontae is the only one here salty right now.
I'm just saying.
$25 Amazon gift card is next. That is next. We have a $25 Amazon gift card. That is next. Let's spin the wheel and see who gets it.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? Yo, it's very Jessica Brown, you have also won a $25. Yo, congratulations to Jessica.
The collusion, yo.
Nah, no collusion here. No collusion at all. I promise.
Is crazy right now.
I promise.
All the big grand prizes is just coming home to the same household. Like he's two kitchens over.
I promise. That is hilarious, though. That is some downright hilarious shit.
Yo.
We also have a comment. Jessica said, I am a top fan. She does have the badge for top fan. So shout out to Jessica. Next up, we have a $30 Amazon gift card. Let's see who wins this. $30 Amazon gift card.
She walked away with $75 worth of gift cards.
Yeah, I know, right? Steve Cameron.
That was too close for my liking.
Steve Cameron, you have won a $30 Amazon gift card as well to go along with the other one. So congratulations to you as well. You now have $50 worth of Amazon. That will make sure you get it fast enough to where you can actually use it before Christmas. Spend wisely. Don't go spend it all in one place and spoil your dinner. All right.
Nice Home Alone quote, by the way.
I know, right? For those who caught that, shout out to them. Last but not least, we have one more gift card to give away, and then we have a special one. So we have this one right here. It is a $40 Amazon gift card. A $40 Amazon gift card.
I got my money on Dad, but like you know, somehow Jessica win this one too. The collusion, the fix is in.
You all right?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm just saying. The fix is in.
They try. I mean, this is wheelofnames.com. Make sure you take it out on them for any problem. $40 Amazon gift card. Let's see who gets it.
Oh dear God, come on now. Oh dear God. Oh dear God, come on now. Oh dear God, like come on.
Shout
Man.
out
Like,
to the bro Reggie Brown for winning the $40 gift card. This kind of makes me a little upset, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to recoup all his stuff.
Oh my God.
Red watches. I'm gonna cash that in for that trip to the airport. Appreciate the gas money. I just let you know that right now. Yeah. So basically, appreciate everybody. Everybody I have recorded won the gifts, and I will make sure that you basically will get your gift, of course. And before we go, I do have one more special gift, and I'll put it on the screen in 1 second. Yeah, and this last gift is more of a thank you gift. But, I will put it up right in the screen right now. Appreciate everybody for checking out the show. Of course, appreciate everyone for sharing the show. It's been a great first year. Obviously, more to come for the rest of this year as well as next year. So this is actually going to be hilarious. But I want to say a special shout out to Devontae for doing the show with me, especially last minute. I'm sure I know it's not easy. I definitely appreciate it. So with that said, there's one last spin the wheel, and Devontae will be entered in this one to see if he will win it. Maybe not. It might be E-Man, Steven, Jessica, Reggie. So in this last one, it's actually for a 50-inch Amazon Fire TV.
Oh, that's coming home.
That is what the spin is for. And what'd you say?
That's coming home. That's coming home to me. That's coming home.
So without further ado, let's bring the wheel back and let's see who wins.
Oh, let's go!
Let's see who wins it. If it hits the line, it's mine.
Watch me still lose. Let's go!
Oh! Congratulations to Devontae for winning the Fire TV. All jokes aside, Devontae, I appreciate you doing the show, of course. I know podcasting is not easy, as you know. I definitely appreciate that. So I will make sure you get your Amazon Fire TV. As you see, I was at the workshop. Santa and his elves are doing that. So yeah.
I don't gotta wear the sweater, right?
Nah, you don't gotta wear the sweater. This is custom Louis Vuitton sweater. But shout out to everyone who won gifts. I will make sure you all get your gifts. Shout out to Devontae as well for doing the show, and make sure obviously you get yours. I appreciate the support from everybody. Happy holidays to everyone. Make sure you enjoy it safe with your loved ones. And Devontae, I'm gonna let you let them know where they can find you.
At Devontae Forever on everything. Thank you for a wonderful time.
No doubt. And shout out to Pops in the chat for always supporting. Definitely will take care of him with some special gifts as well. No doubt we'll be back next week. As always, Garden Gridiron podcast. I appreciate you all. Again, have a safe and very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and we'll catch you guys next week. And without further ado, Garden Gridiron podcast, we out. Peace.